All right, so recently I was scrolling through our master swipe file of 100 healthcare websites in Figma. My team and I have been pulling into this file for weeks. As we do user research with our clients, we come across a lot of healthcare sites and we put them all into one master swipe file. As a designer, I'm always looking for how to implement new brands into our existing work. And as I was doing that, one brand really stood out to me. Of all the healthcare sites that I have looked at this month, Cedar has one of the cleanest B2B designs I've seen in a long time. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that we don't just say something looks nice. We break it down into first principles because good design is actually repeatable. But good design also isn't all that matters. It's making sure we flip up the hood of that car, take a look at what's underneath, and make sure it's actually helping the marketing team. So let's dive into Cedar's B2B healthcare site and take a look at why it's so good. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Andy. I'm the founder at MMG Studio, and we are a web and SEO studio just for healthcare. We've built over 100 fully compliant and optimized Webflow sites in this niche, so I'm fairly confident I can make some good recommendations for Cedar in this video. Okay, first thing we're going to start out with is what they do well. So checking out this homepage on a desktop resolution, it's a super clean design. Cedar has great branding. They've got great colors. I love this typography. We call this a clean serif, meaning it's still easy to read from a distance. It's got soft edges, and it's really powerful. Built for patients, powered by intelligence, proven in performance. In addition to that, they've got some social proof about the page. 50 million patients served nationwide. Great above the fold. We've seen in our A/B tests that showing mockups of your product is best in tech and actually converts better. So they've really nailed it with a combination of these brand designs in the background and these mockups. To a viewer coming to the website for the first time, this earns the credibility badge of trust, and I love what I'm seeing from Cedar so far. Our data shows, and is backed by several studies, that 80% of users spend all of their time on a website on what's above the fold. So you want to make sure that you're creating a positive home run first impression with 80% of people who are seeing your site. Scrolling through the homepage here, we're seeing a lot of social proof. So great logos from other healthcare partnerships. We're seeing human faces, which I love. Human faces are best for earning trust, and they also increase dwell time on our websites. And again, stats linked by third-party validated sources, linking to their amount of payment transactions or number of patients served, payment information processed. This is great. I can understand their product, and I'm just coming onto their page for the first time. That is what we want. And scrolling here too as well, a great combination of high tech feel, showing their product, showing clean mockups alongside trust, images, faces. People like me using the product. That's what we want our visitors to see and feel. Again, more trust with these testimonials, a little slider here, and then a form at the bottom. All right, so as you can tell, Cedar does a lot of things well. They've got good branding, they've got good colors, good typography, and there's a lot they can work with. In addition here, clicking into this mega nav, solutions, who we serve, resources. Okay, so looking at each of these under resources, they have a resource center, they have a blog, a case studies, Cedar Talks, and under who we serve, we have health systems and hospitals, clinicians and providers. Under solutions, we have Cedar Pay, Cedar Cover, Cedar Support, and Cora AI. So we have a lot of interlinking pages here in our sitemap, and all in all, that works. Okay, so clearly Cedar is doing a lot of things very well. Not just from a brand standpoint, they have a well-optimized, organized site, but there's a few things they could improve on. And as I was looking through here, I think this could take them from 90 to 100 and making this one of the best B2B healthcare sites in the niche. Let's dive into some low-lift improvements for Cedar. Okay, so sticking on the homepage here for our first recommendations, I actually noticed at the nav, they have 3 different navigations here below the footer. I'm sure that's just some small error, but I'm going to call them out on it because it's not the best look for professionalism. Also, in the mega nav here, they are being very vague with these links up here. We've also seen too that we want to have links open on hover and not on click. Our data has shown that we get better user journeys when people are encouraged simply by making the menus open on hover. We don't want them buried beneath another click. A small thing I noticed here as well, if we look at the centering on the navigation, the logo is slightly off center from this main CTA here at the top. Not a huge deal, but I notice it, not saying your visitors will. When it comes to these testimonials, I love how much social proof they have on their site. But just a few recommendations here. It's just too much text. And even I can tell these are still abbreviated. What we really want to do is pull out the most powerful 5 to 7 words of a testimonial, maybe even less, and highlight them clearly. So putting those up at the top and then elaborating even further and maybe subtext so that the testimonials really land. Our data has shown, and it's just so true, people do not read. We really have to make this social proof clear, obvious, and compelling because it is what works best. A couple technical suggestions as we monitor the site here. Everything stays really on brand. The site scales really well because they have a good brand foundation. But if we look on the Cedar Pay page here, I'm going to open up a few of our SEO tools. We can see that they're missing a few things under the hood. They actually have 2 H1s, which is definitely not great for organic search. They don't have a descriptive title, so that's the first thing I would change. Their meta description is a little bit too long. If we look at their headings, they do have multiple H1s. So the lift providers want, the experience patients deserve, helping providers succeed in the ways that count. That's definitely the one that we want as our H1. So we're going to make sure we do some better semantic tagging in order to make sure we're showing up in AI search and also traditional search engines as well. Also, this nav bar is very, very vague. Solutions, who we serve, resources. Who we serve actually isn't that bad, but solutions, the only person who uses the word solutions are people who are trying to sell us stuff. I would change this to what we offer or financial solutions, something that's a bit more descriptive so that when I open up that mega menu, which I have to click into, unfortunately, I know what I'm being presented with. This one isn't crazy in depth, but if we go to our conversion page, our book a demo page, this is the page that we want to be super user friendly. I would definitely recommend having some sort of social proof via a testimonial. Having social proof on conversion pages is very important. Also, I would not recommend having any interactions on a page with a conversion. So as you can see, there's a bit of a delay here, especially on mobile devices. It's not the best idea to have a delay on pages where we want our visitors to input information. So that I would remove, add a testimonial, add some faces, earn some trust right before the sale. And last thing, I'll probably point out here from a technical standpoint, if we open up an incognito window, paste in our URL, we're seeing it load. I'm not seeing any cookie consent, which could be a problem because some of these service pages could reveal PHI or consumers who are unconsciously displaying health intent via the pages on their website. And if I right click here, click inspect, go to the tab, hit refresh again. Okay, so website loads and I'm not getting any consent requests. Let's right click, head over to our network tab, hit refresh. Oh, okay, so just search Google and we can see this Google Tag Manager script with a 200, which means it's firing. Not to be anal or in below the wall here, but we have had clients who do get legal requests while having these tracking scripts on their website. Again, it's not a huge deal, and ultimately these scripts are harmless, but in order to save their behinds, I'd highly recommend Cedar just put in a simple cookie consent, especially in zones 1 through 3, where users must manually opt in to be tracked with data like this. All in all, I love Cedar's websites. Shout out to Cedar for having a killer B2B site. And if you are interested in that B2B healthcare master swipe file that we have in Figma, I'll drop the link to that below for you to check out. Over 100 B2B healthcare sites, great place to start your redesign. And if you want a partner to help you with the redesign, send me an email, andy@mmt.studio, and let's have a conversation. Thank you guys for sticking around. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.